We thought we were safe. Nobody warned us what was actually on that property. The government knew about it for years, but they didn't stop us from moving there. This is what actually happened. Before I tell you this story, I need you to understand something. This isn't Hollywood. This isn't made up. This is documented. This is real. And it happened to an American family, just like yours. The government has files on this. I've seen the redacted pages. I'm going to show you what they're hiding. But first, if you're the kind of person who wants answers instead of lies, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see the truth. Ballard, Utah. Population, barely there. December 2009. That's where it started. The Sherman family, Robert, Francis, and their kids, they bought this property thinking they were getting a deal. A gorgeous ranch. Mountain views. Space to breathe. The American dream, right? That's what they thought. The realtor never mentioned the weirdness. The neighbors never warned them. But the government? The government knew. See, Skinwalker Ranch, that's what locals call it, had a history, a long history. Indigenous people warned about it for centuries. Don't go there at night, they said. Something lives there. Something that shouldn't be disturbed. Something that hunts. But the Shermans didn't know that. Or maybe they did and didn't believe it. Maybe they thought it was just folklore, just stories told to scare people away. They were about to learn the difference between folklore and reality. What happened next changed everything. The first night they slept there, Frances couldn't sleep. She felt watched, like something was looking at her through the window. But when she looked outside, nothing. Just darkness. Complete, absolute darkness. Robert thought she was being paranoid. New house jitters. That's what he told her. You're just tired from the move. It's a new place. Your mind is playing tricks. But Frances knew better. She could feel it. By 3 a.m., the dogs started acting strange. All three of them, barking at nothing, whimpering, pacing back and forth like something was chasing them. One dog refused to go outside. Just refused. Planted itself in the corner and wouldn't move. It shook. It trembled. The Shermans chalked it up to the dogs adjusting to a new place. Animals do that sometimes, right? They get nervous in unfamiliar territory. They were wrong. Over the next 3 weeks, things escalated. Fast. Too fast. Livestock on neighboring properties started dying. Not naturally. Wrong. All wrong. No marks on the bodies. No blood. No signs of struggle. Just empty. Like something had drained them from the inside. Like something was experimenting. Testing. The family's horses got sick. All of them. At the same time. 3 horses. Gone. Veterinarians couldn't figure out why. We've never seen anything like this, they said. It's like whatever happened to them erased them from the inside. And then the lights came. Frances documented it. She started filming every night. She knew something was wrong with this place. She could feel it in her bones. Something ancient. Something that didn't belong here. She was right. Frances kept a journal. She documented everything. Every night. Every encounter. Every impossible thing she witnessed. And here's where it gets strange, because what she filmed matches exactly with what's in classified government documents. The same night Frances saw the lights, military helicopters showed up. No explanation. No warning. Just helicopters. At 2 a.m., over her property, over their home, she called the police. Terrified, desperate for answers. They told her they couldn't help. Those weren't their jurisdiction. Those were military helicopters. And she needed to stop asking questions. Stop asking questions? About what's happening to my family. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. That's when Frances realized something terrifying. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a coincidence. The government knew about this place, and they let her family move there anyway. They knew, over the next 6 months, what started as strange lights turned into encounters. Real encounters. Direct encounters. Frances reported seeing things she couldn't explain. Figures. Not human. Moving with an intelligence that made no sense. Moving like they understood they were being watched. like they were showing off, like they wanted her to see them. One night, she heard something scratching at the window, methodical, like something with claws, slow, deliberate, scraping. But when she looked, the scratch marks were inside the glass. Inside. How did something get inside? Robert wanted to leave. He was done. We have to go. Now. Today. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the house. We're leaving. But Frances insisted on staying. She wanted answers. She wanted to understand what was happening. She wanted proof. The government was watching. They had satellites. They had equipment. They had researchers. They knew everything happening on that property. Why weren't they doing anything? Here's what I found in declassified documents. In 1995, 14 years before the Shermans moved there, the government bought the land adjacent to Skinwalker Ranch. Not a private citizen. The government. The Department of Defense. Why would the government buy land next to a paranormal hotspot? According to the documents, there have been unusual electromagnetic phenomena and unidentified aerial activity for decades. The military knew, the CIA knew, the NSA knew, all of them knew, and they did nothing to stop people from moving there. In fact, the government has a protocol for this, a specific legal protocol. If private citizens buy land in areas with active anomalous activity, their exact words, the government is supposed to notify them, warn them, protect them. It's the law. The Shermans never received that notification, never got the warning, never got protected. I found the paperwork. I've seen it. The government knew the property was for sale. They tracked the sale. They knew the family was moving, and they deliberately chose not to warn them. Why would they do that? There's only one answer. Because they wanted to see what would happen. They wanted to observe, to study, to understand how people react, what they do, how the entity behaves when there are witnesses, when there are people recording. They used the Sherman family as test subjects at BY March 2010. Frances was terrified. The encounters had become frequent, daily, sometimes multiple times a day. She was documenting everything, but she was also breaking down, emotionally, physically, spiritually. She looked different, older, like something was draining her. Robert wanted to leave. Please, I'm begging you. Let's go. Let's get out of here. But there's a problem with Skinwalker Ranch. Something that nobody tells you about. Once you know what's there, once you've seen it, it doesn't let you just leave. It's like you've been marked, tagged, and it follows you. In late March, something happened that would change everything. Frances went missing for 4 hours. For complete hours. The family reported it to police. She just disappeared. From their house. During the day. In broad daylight. With all the doors locked. All the windows closed. When she came back, she didn't remember where she'd been. She couldn't remember anything. Her eyes were different. Empty. Like something was looking out through her eyes. But it wasn't Frances anymore. She had this look like she'd seen something. Something that changed her. Permanently. Something that broke her in a way that can't be fixed. She refused to talk about it. For weeks. Nothing. Just silence. Staring. Like she was somewhere else. Somewhere far away. When she finally did talk about it, Robert recorded it. That recording is in government custody now. Classified. Secret. But I've seen fragments. I've read the transcripts. According to what she said, she wasn't alone when she disappeared. Something took her, transported her, showed her things. Things she described as not of this world. She said, they showed me the stars, but they weren't the stars we know. They were different. And then they showed me places, rooms, technology, and there were others there, other people, other humans, and they had been there for a very long time. 2 weeks after that incident, the family left. They packed up and left. No explanation, no goodbye to the neighbors. They just abandoned the property. And then the government showed up. The government moved in immediately, took over the property, installed surveillance equipment, military personnel, armed guards. This went from a family ranch to a military installation in 48 hours. Maybe less. Why? Because something happened there that the government needed to understand. Something the Shermans had documented. Something that proved we're not alone. Something that proved everything we think we know is a lie. All of Francis's footage, confiscated. All of Robert's documentation, taken. The journal with every entry, gone. The recordings, classified. All of it classified at the highest levels. The government classified it all. I managed to get my hands on fragments, pieces of what was documented, redacted copies. And what I'm about to tell you will change how you understand reality. Forever, the Shermans were paid off. A settlement, millions of dollars. On one condition, they signed an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. They can't talk about what happened. They can't release the footage. They can't tell their story. They're legally bound to silence. If they speak, they go to prison. But people know. Scientists know. The government knows. Something is on Skinwalker Ranch. Something intelligent. Something other. Something that exists on a different plane of reality. And the government has been studying it, hiding it, protecting it. They're not protecting us from it. They're protecting it from us. The question isn't what is it. The real question is, why is your government keeping this from you? Why is this being hidden? What are they afraid you'll do if you find out the truth? That's the truth they don't want you to know. If you felt that in your gut, if that made you question something, you're not crazy. Trust that instinct. Your instinct is right. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think really happened to the Sherman family. Tell me what you think is on Skinwalker Ranch. Tell me what you think the government is protecting. And subscribe, because this is just the beginning. There are other families, other locations, other encounters, other evidence that's been buried. And we're going to uncover it all. The truth is out there, and they're terrified you'll find it.